Welcome to Am I Famous Yet? I'm Ivan. This is chapter 32 called, You Know Who You Look Like? Oh boy, do I get this question a lot. Please allow me to save you some time and some inevitable, well-deserved hatred. If you ever find yourself tempted to ask someone this question of anyone, or even if you have caught yourself too late and have already asked the question, stop yourself right there and just walk away. You're welcome. Again, gentle reader, I'm not suggesting that you personally would ever be so crass as to commit such a faux pas. I'm just saying that an alarming number of people do it without realizing that they're being assholes. It's never flattering. It's never funny, especially when the person thinks it is. It's never actually friendly. It never makes anyone want to have further conversations with the person. And trust me, whatever name you're about to say, unless it's Brad Pitt, and it never is for some reason, the person you're about to say it to has heard it 100 times already. I can assure you that he or she hates hearing it every single time. Your brilliant, witty observation is the most tired trope imaginable. Regularly, and I mean regularly, I hear all of the following comparisons in no particular order. Gene Simmons, bassist singer from Kiss. Weird Al Yankovic, accordion wizard, often mispronounced Yankovich. Dee Snider, singer from Twisted Sister. Geddy Lee, bassist singer from Rush. John Kerry, former U.S. Secretary of State. Jay Leno, comedian talk show host. Phil Lynott, bassist lead singer of Thin Lizzy. Howard Stern, shock jock radio host. Kenny G, smooth jazz saxophonist. Peter Mayhew, the actor who played Chewbacca in Star Wars. Slash, guitarist from Guns N' Roses. Tiny Tim, ukulele and falsetto titan. Show me the flattery of any of these comparisons. You can't, because there is none. I sort of get it. Most of them are based on us both having long curly hair and or a long face, but most of them are vague resemblance that constitute a stretch of the imagination. Sometimes it's an awkward attempt at starting a conversation or just having some interaction in a bus station men's room, just in case I'm some minor celebrity. One of my bosses, soul man Sam Moore, says repeatedly that I look like former Secretary of State John Kerry. He said it so many times that I just roll my eyes now when he does. He does it just to annoy me. A number of years ago, he did a gig at the White House where Secretary Kerry was present. I was not there that day. Sam told me that he went on and on to the secretary about how his music director looks just like him. I'm sure the secretary, who has never met me and doesn't know who I am, was very polite about it. I told Sam at the time that as an international touring musician, the last thing I want is for anyone at the U.S. State Department to know anything about who I am. All the secretary would have to do was to put out the word. I could envision being called into a special interview room the next time I tried to clear U.S. Customs. Thanks a lot, Sam. Quite often I get approached by people who think I'm famous, though they don't know exactly why. I kind of get that too. I'm always dressed like a rock star, or as I like to think of it, I'm always dressed the way I want to and not like an office cubicle inhabiting corporate zombie. I'm usually carrying a bass guitar in a gig bag on my back. This is a sure sign that I'm probably a musician. If you see someone of my advancing years carrying a musical instrument through an airport on a school day, it's a fair bet that he's a career musician rather than a weekend hobbyist. Recently, at LaGuardia Airport, a lady came up to me and said, "Are you in Kiss?" I said, "Those guys are in their 70s, collecting Social Security, have had facelifts, and have been in rehab for their hip replacements after wearing platform boots for their 40 years. Do I look like I'm that old?" Don't answer that. While I'm no spring chicken myself, Gene Simmons is at least 15 years my senior, and I don't think I really look like him at all. The lady at the airport scampered back to her traveling companion, saying in a loud Queen's accent, "See, I told you he wasn't old enough." On a train trip down to Washington, D.C. to do a gig a few years back, the conductor came by to collect our tickets. I was traveling with the entire band of a certain disco diva. In the days since 9/11, Amtrak tickets are now required to have your legal name on them. A few minutes later, the conductor came back and said, "Hey, I hate to bother you, but could you autograph this ticket? You know, the one with my name on it." He probably had time to Google me on his phone or whatever, and felt that I was celebrated just enough to warrant a signed Amtrak ticket. Regardless, he was suffering under no delusions about who I actually was. It said my name right there. Yet, This sought autograph was overheard and witnessed by a woman and her son in the seat right in front of us. So now they wanted to get autographs and take photos with me as well. "I have all of your records," the lady said to me. The band I was traveling with was in hysterics at this point because they knew exactly who I was. Nobody. That particular short-haired band looked like a bunch of math teachers compared to me, so they weren't being sought for autographs, just me. Too late, we realized that the only proper response to that false flattery from the lady should have been, "Oh really? Which one of my albums is your favorite?" We never figured out exactly whose autograph or photo the lady and her son thought they got. Somewhere in the fray, the band's howls of laughter, mostly at me, the band leader even said, "Who do you think he is?" This was directed out to the train car generally and not to the specific lady, so we never got an answer. Many dozens of times I've been walking past an endless stream of people on a crowded city streets, only to notice that there is some bozo approaching me with his or her cell phone, photographing or filming me as I walk past. This is usually meant to appear to be either too subtle for me to notice or as a drive-by that's passed me before I can protest. I never protest. I don't really care. If you think I'm that famous, you're more than welcome to have a souvenir photo. Just ask. I find the attempted stealth photo to be kind of chicken shit on the part of the perpetrators. What do they think they've accomplished? And do they honestly think I don't notice that I'm being photographed without my permission? It happens a lot. You would be surprised. Another thing that happens equally often is that I will be legitimately recognized for something I've actually done. This delights me to no end and almost always follows the same script. "Hey man, I saw you play at, where?" I say eagerly, hopefully. "Carnegie Hall? Conan O'Brien? The Kennedy Center? On Broadway?" No. It was at insert name of biggest shithole nightclub imaginable here with insert name of most embarrassingly awful singer-songwriter I've ever had the misfortune to accompany. To which I can only reply, "Oh yeah, cool. Thanks, man." Other times, I've been asked to take photos with random middle-aged German tourist ladies on the streets on the off chance that I might be someone famous. I'm always too happy to oblige, but the kicker occurs nearly as often when I'm asked if I wouldn't mind taking a photo. Of course, I always answer, but then they hand me the camera. The photo they want taken isn't of me.